Yes, I am grateful for my new apartment and my job with work staffing. I make good money. I'm on disability for schizoaffective, but I get to double my income within the law by working part time, which really helps out. And I have savings now, and I'm paying off debt. And I attribute it to Jesus Christ in the Catholic Church. And I am trying to hang out with only people from St. Peter Church and the Knights of Columbus and the St. Vincent de Paul Society. Warren Buffett had rules for life, and I heard some other rules for life. So I've started making my bed every morning. I clean my apartment regularly. I'm quitting marijuana so I can save more and pay off debt quicker. There's a candle to St. Jude that I've been burning, and I said a prayer to St. Jude because I've smoked marijuana for 30 years, and I haven't smoked it in 2 days, which is the beginning. And I have money, I could buy it. I have money in savings that's easily accessible. I have money in checking that's easily accessible. And I met the finest people I ever met in my life at St. Peter. They've shown me love. I've gone crazy a couple times and sworn at them, especially when I mistakenly thought the Pope was going to have gay marriage, because that Father Martin, I think he should be excommunicated for advocating homosexuality for priests and gay marriage and blessing gay unions. And that was pissing me off. But the Pope has since come out and said homosexuality is a sin, and the church cannot condone or bless sin. And I believe in the true presence of Christ in the Eucharist. And I go to confession regularly because God knows I am not perfect. I cuss all the time, especially when something doesn't go my way. But one thing I've decided to do is not worry about all the idiots I met at AA, NA, and Community Alliance. They're losers. They take no responsibility for their actions. And also the people I met at the Avenue who were dealing meth and doing meth and all that crazy crap. It's in the past. Forget about it. Don't hang. If I find out anybody does meth or is a recovering addict, I'm not having anything to do with them. Because recovering addicts, especially if they're under a year clean, they could relapse and steal from you, which happened to me before. And I don't consider myself an addict. I enjoy smoking pot. That's why I do it. But I've never put my housing in jeopardy or gotten arrested or I smoked a lot of pot when I was raising my kids, but yet my daughter is in Harvard graduate school and my son is getting his PhD from the University of Minnesota. I paid attention to them. I went to all their events, sports and programs and all that kind of stuff. My daughter's dance stuff, even though I don't care to watch young girls dance, but hey, she was in it. She's my daughter. I do enjoy young kids playing baseball. I enjoy high school wrestling. But if my daughter was whatever my daughter's into, as long as it's not against the gospel of Jesus Christ, I'm for it and I support her. So even we just watched Jordan Peterson, and he said success breeds on itself, and doing what I'm doing is making me successful. I've calmed down a lot since moving out of that shitty apartment. on the avenue with all the meth heads and scumbags and that whole neighborhood. I don't need to think about it anymore. I found out one of my good friends, Virgil Gutierrez, and his brother, Deacon Omar, live not too far from me. I'm in a mainly Hispanic. It's about 50% Hispanic, 25% white, 25% black, but it's a pretty good neighborhood, working class. My apartment doesn't take Section 8, and I'll never be asked to speak at a mental health thing because I'm Catholic and I attribute God and my belief in the Catholic Church and the Eucharist and praying the Rosary a good deal to my success and the Knights of Columbus. And they would want me to say AA and NA, and they would want me to say that I don't drink at all. I do drink on occasion, but not very often. I don't have a problem with alcohol. I do have a problem with pot because I tend to be compulsive with it, but not a problem like I end up arrested or homeless or don't buy food. I've always bought food and paid my bills before I don't steal or lie to get more. If I'm out, I'm just out. And they would want me to tell my story a certain way, so I'm never gonna. But I've gotten off Section 8 housing, food stamps, Medicaid. I pay for my Medicare Part B premium. Some of you might still consider me on welfare because I'm on SSDI. I don't really consider SSDI welfare because unlike SSI, you make more than SSI because it's based on how much you work. And last year, because I made an extra 10 grand, they raised my SSDI $2. I don't consider Social Security welfare because you work, you pay into it, and I continue to pay into it. And I do have a disability, but maybe someday I'll go back to work. Maybe not. Right now, what I'm doing is working for me, so I'll continue to do it. I've been doing it, let's see, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. I've been doing it for 7 months. Before that, I worked a year for FBG, and that was working too. Met some great people there, Ann, Jeffrey, and Sue, my boss. My boss was an old lady. She'd get mad probably for me saying that, but she fell and hurt herself, so she's probably not going to work anymore, and she got a staph infection. And I've been praying for her, and my church has been praying for her. And Ann is this black lady who's a sweet Baptist lady. Used to bring me homemade stuff from homemade sweets and homemade food. And Jeffrey is a guy, black guy, a year younger than me, born right, is a Libra also, majored in history like I did in college, and is on disability like me and works part-time. I think last I heard he was using up his trial work months trying to see if he could get on full-time somewhere for good money. Actually, I know more black people and deal with more black people than most of the libtards in the suburbs. And I've said this many times before, I've had more problems with white meth heads stealing with me. Only one black person stole from me at the Avenue. It was a black woman who I let spend the night, who I was kind of having an affair with. And she stole a computer from me. But all the other people who stole from me, threatened me, or were harassing me were white meth heads. And libtards say that they know this and that, but they don't deal with black people. Don Lemon lives in an all-white neighborhood behind a gated fence, and Colin Kaepernick was comparing the NFL to slavery. The key difference is you don't have to go into the NFL. No one makes you join the NFL. You can leave anytime you want. That's not true for slavery. Not to mention they put the white guys through the same thing. And boy, I want some of that oppression where you drive a Maserati or a fancy Italian sports car, have millions of dollars, live in a mansion, and fuck gorgeous chicks. I don't want that anymore because I'm religious, but I certainly would have liked to have it when I was his age. And now I have higher values. That's a St. Jude candle burning on the background. I said a prayer to St. Jude. I say prayers every day to St. Jude's to help me overcome my marijuana habit. And I am grateful to God for my new apartment, grateful to God for my job, grateful to God that I'm healthy and physically fit. Viva Jesus. Viva Christo Rey.